Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. Yesterday I spoke about a viral video that has been making its round over social media, wherein CMR's brother, known as Chevon, I think, he was seen and heard in a video with his little daughter that is said to be 5-year-old, bending over, and he was complimenting her, or it sounded like he was complimented her. It could have been interpreted as him complimenting her that she been over good, just like her mother, and that's why them love backers. This is the edited version of the video. I want you to take a listen, take a look, and then let me know what you think in the comment section.
One thing, well, I can bend and backwards, so that's a love backwards. I raise up backwards, so you know. Well, I can bend.
So people, you heard the video, you heard the voice, and like I said, I did not show the little girl because of YouTube's policy and just common decency. But if you're the average person, you would have said, something sounded a bit off, something sounded a bit controversial, inappropriate, at worst or at best, depending on who you ask. Well, people, it seems as if after the backlash, the youth came out and he is defending himself. He is trying to do damage control. He's trying to explain what he was saying and how persons took it out of context. I want you to take a listen, take a look at exactly what he had to say in defense of himself, and then I'll give my piece.
And let me sort of more to you, my daughter go get backers, you know. I say no. And me I talk about, you know, just the fact is the baby in a video, so you just run away there. And that's what you do. Best if the baby never in a video, I'm just talk about it literally like that, on the never run away. No. On the never can regular, I talk about backers with me girl without my baby in another video. I'll never run away. So all of a sudden the baby night now not run with it. Eh? I'll never run with it. When I talk about it, I should run with it too. But through the baby in the video, I talk about backers, I not run with it. It's never, the video is not all about my daughter. You see me? When I say it's not about my daughter, you see me? It's not about my daughter. The fact that is because the video turned on her, so I'm not going to say she is me attack. Actually, me I say as how my daughter bend her back, that's how me girl bend her back, and that's how her mother bend her back. So I say, yo, then love backers. I not talk about my blood clot daughter. You see it? I not talk about my daughter. You see me? All I understand, say, yo, what? Like, me I say, what the fuck? I'm not going to talk about call CDA and call them. Fuck, when I talk about, call them. You see me? Come out of my business, man.
So people, this is my disclaimer. Based on what he said in the original video, and the little child was bending over, the average person would think that it sounded very inappropriate. The fact that you was talking, the little child was bending over, just like, well, I don't even want to say that. It could have been interpreted, it could have been misinterpreted. Nobody knows for sure your mindset. But the average person, if you put this case in front of a jury, you would have been convicted by a majority rule. Maybe a couple of people might say no, but most persons are going to say yeah. However, there's also a next video in which you were saying something very inappropriate. I want you to take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
Listen closely. This is a different video.
Kiss your daddy. Lift her up and kiss her. Kiss dada. Kiss dada. Kiss dada. Kiss dada again. Suck out dada tongue.
Suck out what kind of dada tongue? What you mean suck out dada tongue? For what? I don't know, laugh like you funny.
So people, you heard the first video that started all the controversy on social media when he might tell a little girl say she been over for backers just like the mother. But he claimed that he was speaking about her to the mother or to the girlfriend. So therefore, if we give him a pass, if we give him the benefit of the doubt, which we should not have because it was just downright inappropriate. We heard him come out and then do his damage control. However, there's a second video or audio that I let you hear of him holding that same little girl and saying, kiss dada, suck out dada tongue. Now people, sometimes people put them foot in their mouth, but certain things you should not do. Certain things should not come out of your mouth. Certain thoughts should not in your mind, unless, of course, you are sick and demented. So based on the tendency, based on 2 audios or videos back to back, it shows habitual, petty kind of behavior. Based on the fact that his brother CMR was also in some controversial stuff, meaning petty, touching up him little daughter, allegedly. It seems as if it is in the genetic makeup of the family. That family have some sorts of petty type of issue, in most persons' opinion, including mine. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, based on the picture that you see on the screen, and of an incident that took place in a Westmoreland at a school known as New Hope Primary, in which 11-year-old boy Desiree Smith lost his life. Based on the information, it is said that he left school at about 3 p.m. School ends at about 4 p.m. based on the sign that I saw on TVJ News. So in other words, he left school early without authorization. He was walking past that flood drain. In my previous video, I said ditch because I thought that it was probably a little hole concealed by one of them little metal thing. But we see that this is a big flood drain that has been there for years, based on information, conversations that I've had with persons that live or went to that school. That has been there for years. There's a next part to walk that is not in front of that or that would not wash you away. So we see this flood drain is big. This flood drain, if there's a storm, if there's a whole bunch of water, we could see where it could easily wash somebody away. They would lose their footing and then they would lick up them head and tumble and gone straight at sea, which it seems is the case in the little boy, Mr. Smith's case. Now there's a video circulating on social media, actually an interview that the mother did with TVJ News. And she's saying she's blaming the school. She's blaming the security at the school because the security should not have let him out because, like I said, this incident took place at 3 p.m. The school ends at 4:30. So an hour and a half before. And this mother was swearing that her son would not jump over the fence or jump through one big old hole or a couple of holes that are in the schoolyard. Now, based on information, it is said that he is hearing impaired. And we understand that that is kind of a little bit of disability. However, you are not blind. You are not sight impaired. So therefore, you're supposed to know and you're supposed to have common sense. It could have easily been avoided. But what we see is youth, again, 11-year-old, so we can give him a little pass. The fact that he is gone, condolences to the family. So everybody are blame. Everybody is playing the blame game. We see the mother say, the relevant authority, the government need to do better and find some sorts of way to stop the drain. But if something has been there for over 5 decades or so, you know the danger that exists. However, persons, including little children, are willing to take risks that they are ignorant to. And we saw that ignorance and hearted and the fact that him leave school early without authorization, it led to his demise. A very sad state of affair. It speaks volume of the type of mentality. And like the saying goes, shortcut, it draws BLOOD. In this case, the youth loses life. Most importantly, a hard ears make for a soft ASS. Who can hear, them a go feel until them can't feel anymore. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is based on two videos that has been circulating all over social media. With a group of children in a minibus, while they were in this minibus, it seems as if there was a verbal altercation with a lady. That verbal altercation turned physical, and the lady wheel and pop off her 5-star and start laying some joke, some cut at some of the students. I guess the police was summoned or the police was on the scene when the bus reached in a Spanish town. It is said that when the bus reached, the police took out the lady. They were talking to the lady, asking the lady what was going on. She was giving her side of the story, made it seem as if she was the victim and the children were the aggressor. However, a youth that was on the bus and saw everything in intricate details, he decided that when the police was talking to this lady, and it seems as if the police was believing what the lady was saying, taken up for this lady, that youth had a big stone in him hand, full up him whole palm. He then used that stone and pelt the lady right at the back of her neck to her head. She then fell down. You could see the red splatter all over her back, all over the back of her neck. Of course, so the police chased him down. The video then ended. Now, people, when we see stuff like this, it speaks volume about persons with mental issue. So whenever you're on the public transportation, you will have to deal with these people. But it also speaks volume about the new generation. In arguments, and not to say that the lady was right or wrong. However, back in the days, we would not argue with elder. Even if them disrespect we wouldn't just take it. And what is even worse in this whole drama and passa is the fact that while the police was talking to this lady, whether they were taking side or not, this youth had the balls, the galls, for actually fling a big stone, rock stone, and slap the lady, and then take for himself right in front of the police. She said this is the generation of viper that they spoke about in the Bible. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, based on the picture that you see on the screen and the caption that is also on the screen, is of a young man known as Gavin Myers, said to be a businessman. Based on police report, it is said that that businessman / chopper / car rental / promoter / everything, including monkey business. He was abducted by gunmen, abducted at gunpoint by 3 heavily armed men at his business establishment in Darliston, which is in Westmoreland. That happened a morning or so ago. It says the businessman that operates a car mart in the town center has been identified as Gavin Myers, like I told you. Based on the reports, it is said that Myers was at his business establishment at about 7 a.m. when gunmen heavily armed barged in and took him away. His current whereabouts is unknown. Now, people, you realize while I was speaking, there are a lot of pictures and videos on the screen. Those pictures are of Mr. Myers and his crony, his crew. The whole family, not limited to the mother, not limited to the auntie, the brother, the sister, everybody and their mama involved up to them neck in a criminality. This man is a top chopper. This man is no legitimate businessman. This man is actually laundering the chopping money. As a matter of fact, based on information that I am getting, he said that he is heavily guarded by some science, so therefore the U.S. authority cannot come for him because his security is tight. He is under the bozo. This man owns a big house, mansion. All of this is taking place in Darliston, which is in Westmoreland. So we could clearly say that he is hiding in plain view. This man is known all over the place. This man keeps party. He keeps back to school, However, while he is doing good, he is doing mostly bad. Based on the information, it is said that he claims that he has transitioned from the chopping. He is now selling guns. He is now selling shot. He is now putting out hitman for hire job. So therefore, he is entangled in a whole bunch of criminal dirty bungle. He has a business establishment known as Shearer's Rental, Maya's Car Dealership, like you saw in the pictures, in which he has nothing but high-end vehicles, meaning the Crown, meaning the Mark X, them they are commoners, meaning the Benz, meaning the Beamer, meaning the Range Rover, just about anything that you want. Once the price is right, once you can pay, you can play. He will rent it to you based on his connection. If he may say somebody a top chopper from Kingston, Montego Bay, wherever, he will rent those vehicles to them. So people, you see the videos, you see the pictures. So it is said this man is no sort of commoner. This man is what we call a kingpin in the chopping world, in the gun smuggling world, in the drugs world. As a matter of fact, based on information that I got, it is said that he is presently sending all sorts of cocoa to the United States. That is where he is making a bulk of his money. He is dibbling and dabbling in a guns, in a shot, in a drugs. Once shot was chopping, don't think that he has stopped. Never stop. They just want more and more and more. Greed is always the order of the day. Now, the sad thing about this whole situation is that about last year, this time, over a year ago, I had contacted the police in Westmoreland when I got the information. All of the videos, all of the pictures that you see. However, their feedback was, yeah, we are working on it. We are investigating. Once we get to the bottom of it, then we are going to contact you and we are going to let you know an update. But based on information that I got previously to contacting the Popo in Westmoreland, it is said that this man has all the police, every police at every station wrapped around his finger. Him have them on the payroll. So therefore, if there was any sorts of bus, he would know. His house, his mansion is lined with all sorts of cameras. So therefore, if and when them a come, him can look on him phone, kind of like the ring system, and he can see, as a matter of fact, he would be tipped off in the eventuality that there was going to be any sorts of raid. So like I said, this man has been operating in a plain view. Everybody and them mother know, like you see, this man is always out and about in the most expensive car, the most expensive clothes, doing the drugs, doing the chopping, doing the gun running, doing the shots, doing everything. He is dibbling and dabbling in everything. And the police know, but they are not, or would not do anything because, like I said, the corruption is deep in Westmoreland, and this is yet a perfect example. So when I hear that this man was abducted or kidnapped, I was not surprised because, so with the success, whether it is legitimate or illegitimate, in the chopping world, in the drugs world, in the gun running world, bad mind is always going to be prevalent. So therefore, people are going to be watching you. It is not as if you're operating under stealth. It is not as if you are hiding. You are just exalting yourself. And like I said, he that exalted himself is a base, meaning that you are a bait. However, thinking about it on a next angle, is this man or did this man plan his own kidnapping or abduction because him knows say him hot? Him knows say the feds is on his heels. Him knows say the police are look out for him. So therefore him act as if he was abducted and kidnapped and then go into hiding, run where go to United States or someplace like that. Anything is possible. But people, like I said, that is yet to be determined. I will let you know as soon as I get any more pertinent information ASAP. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.